Hello everybody, how you doing? It's Not a Live Zombie here, and today I want to talk about Legion, World of Warcraft Legion. Um, why am I making it like this when others have made, World of Warcraft Legion movies, and you'll normally see like a bit of the gameplay behind it. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to, record me and then come back and then talk over it and then see it, because I'm not good at that. I'm not gonna go, oh crap, I gotta extend the video, I gotta extend the gameplay video, or have to shorten down the rant here to to make it all work. And I mean, I'm sure it's easy, I just don't want to do it. So like I said, I want to talk about Legion. It is amazing, is the simplest word I haven't had this much fun in a very long time, actually. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. Pandaria, Cataclysm, even a bit of Draenor was kind of fun, but like Legion takes the cake. When I played Mr. Pandaria, it's the same thing. Every time I played like Mr. Pandaria, I'd hit level cap, I'd get some gear, and then I'd just stop playing. I'd go, level an alt, or I'd go do something else. I'd go play another game, and then I would just return, do like my few dailies, and then just get bored and then stop doing dailies altogether after a while. And same thing with like Cataclysm, and then Cataclysm came first, then Mr. Pandaria. My apologies. And then Draenor, and then Draenor. God, Warlords of Draenor. You were the biggest flop. It was Warlords of Draenor was like 90% Garrison, and then 90%. What was it? Not Shadow Moon Vale. I can't remember the name of the area right now. It's the one with Volmar and the other Alliance foothold. I can't remember it. It was those areas, and Warspear. That was 90% of Draenor. That's what Draenor was. It was going back to your garrison, collecting your followers who went off on their mission to do their thing, and then you coming back to, you going back to Warspear to sit there, grind your rep, to get your flying, and then just wait. And it was terrible. I don't want to go back to it, but unlike that, Legion took a different approach. Now, we don't have daily quests like we used to. We still have it. They're there, but in a different. They've been altered, so they're not the blue. They're not the blue question mark. Well, unless you're doing unless you're trying to get exalted with the Night Elves, then you still have your question mark. But that isn't that difficult, and that's an exception, and I'll get to that in a minute. But as I was saying, you have your dailies, but they're now replaced with world quests. Once you hit 110, you start world questing. You start going through different parts of all of the 5 zones that Legion came with. Valsharad, Asuna, High Mountain, Suramar, and Stromheim. Stromheim? I can't remember which how it's pronounced. And you go through those 5 areas daily to do missions for, to gain. These missions give you rep. They give you rewards of gold or gear or artifact power. And that's another thing I'll cover in a minute. And it's actually really fun. I haven't been bored while doing them. Normally I got bored while doing the daily grind, where it's like go to point A and kill this many things and then bring back this much and you're done. But World Quest took a it makes daily quests fun. New and fun, because you'll go to this point and you'll kill the enemies, but it's basically like you're just getting another quest again. But this time, now you're getting rep, some gold, and garrison resources. And it's also helping. And then you have factions. It'll give you 3 factions you'll start out with on your map. And you'll do 4 quests for those. And you'll get special stuff for doing it. Special item or more rep or something like that. And it's, it's still just a daily quest. But it's been masked in such a way that it's different and refreshing. And it's fun to do. And unlike other games, I shouldn't say other games, I should say, unlike other expansions, the zones are still utilized. thanks to the new leveling system WoW has, to where the enemies now scale with the player. So say you've completed all 5 zones, you hit level 110. Well, you could be running around at level 110, but a fresh level 100 could just hit the Legion area of the Broken Isles, and you two could be on you could be in the same questing area, and his monsters will be level 100, but the monster that you hit that he's fighting will now be level 110. And I was thinking, like, that's a really cool feature. I thought that was really interesting. It's interesting to run around, run around the Broken Isles and see all these low levels while you're a hot max level, and you can give them a hand, or you could gank them, whichever, if it's the alternate faction. Which I'm not gonna deny you that, but kind of salty against paladins right now. Mages, I attacked one that was 4 levels lower than me. I could not touch it. I was like, what the hell is this thing? Oh, it's a paladin. It's bubbling. It's got its cooldowns out. Fuck this thing. But that's just me. Maybe because I'm bad at PvP anyway, so that's probably also why I could barely touch the asshole who was healing himself. But back to the utilization of the areas, of all the areas, even the special area that's designed for level 110s only of Suramar. Every area is still used. Every area feels great because it's still a challenge. It doesn't, unlike the other expansions where you were in like the Jade Forest. Once you reached max level, going back to the Jade Forest, all the enemies were so low level. I mean, they could still hit you, but they couldn't hurt you because by the time you get to there, they were grayed out. You were too strong for them to actually be of a challenge anymore. Not in Legion, and that made it refreshing. It's like, oh, I still have to run around these people. I still actually have to fight a lot of these guys to get from point A to point B. Because, flying hasn't been introduced yet. It hasn't been a month. Give it time. People who are complaining about flying, I actually don't miss it. I'm having fun without flying in Legion. And the areas have been utilized so much better. And the daily quests that sprinkle all 5 zones is beautiful. I absolutely adore it. But then it comes to this part that worries me about Legion, which is the artifact power, the artifact weapons. I like it because it brings back the old school talent tree. It makes it feel like I'm playing World of Warcraft again. But the thing is, I love the artifact weapons. The only thing I don't like about them is, of course, they're legendaries. They're these legendary items that everybody has. And it's like, you can't call it a legendary item if everybody can get their hands on it so easily. That's just mine, though. It's like, I'd rather have, Thunderfury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. I said it. I'd rather have, a challenge where it feels like I got lucky. The RNG gods blessed me so that I could have this legendary. Something similar to that. It's attainable, but not everybody will have it. And I know people are going to play, oh, I don't have time to play video games like that. I have a life, and children, and books to read. And it's like, that's the worst excuse you can use, is saying you don't have time to do something. Then don't do it. Don't sit there and go, it must be easier because I can't do it. I can't keep up with everybody else. Make it easier so I feel included. I'm a special snowflake who deserves it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to write off on like that. Well, kind of did, but let's just continue back on to the track with the artifacts and why I like and dislike them. It's, the artifact weapons are great. You level them up, you get your points, you buy your skills like that through the artifact weapon. It has its own set of trees, and I really enjoy it. I really like it. I like having to be, I gained so many artifact power points. Now I can put them in there and make it feels like the old school talent trees, like I said. The thing is, this feels like it's going to start a trend where Blizzard will give you something, because right now it's the weapons. And as you get the weapons, you go through the game. When the next expansion comes out, it's already been stated that we won't be taking the artifact weapons with us. So my thing is Blizzard going to get rid of get rid of the new weapons and like all weapons in general now, or what's gonna happen with that? I really don't want another goddamn legendary ring. Oh, I hated the ring in Draenor. Oh, that quest. So much fucking grinding for that. Warlords of Grinding. That's what it should have been called. But the thing is, it's like you get the ring. I mean, you get the artifact weapons. They have their powers. But next expansion, we're getting something else. Because you know Blizzard's going to continue the trend of this, how they have the skill tree. But what are they going to do? Are they going to get rid of the single pick choice talents we have right now, where it's like you have 3 talents per every few levels, and then you just pick one and that's it? I really don't like this. It really limits how to play. But then again, so does artifact weapons, because you pick a certain, like in any MMO, you pick a certain number of skills that other players who got in the beta and all that had time to test and can crunch numbers and tell you, oh, if you put points here and here and here, you'll maximize your DPS and all that other good things that some of you don't probably give a shit about. But for me, someone like me, it was like, if you would just make all skills useful in the tree so that we could pick whatever we wanted and still put out decent DPS, then you would eliminate, you know, the one tree line that everyone will play when they switch to their special class. To their certain class. I'm sorry, not special class, certain class. But, I mean, that's just me. But, as I was saying, it's like, so... Because right now there are no weapons that I can get for transmogging. You know, I can't make my legendary fire melon, as a lot of fire mages have gone to calling the Felmalore. There aren't a lot of weapons I can switch it to. Well, from past expansions, there are plenty of swords and things of that nature I can turn it into to make it look like it's that. But there were none introduced in Legion. Because you have 2 staves, one sword and offhanded item for mages. So you got your arcane, your frost, and then you got your fire, which comes with a main hand and offhand item. But there's no reskins for those. I mean, they have unlockable different colors and like 1 or 2, I think, different texture to it, but it's I'd rather have the ability to go out into the world and find a nice drop. That feels a lot better to me than just having my legendary everyone has it weapon. But that's just my complaint. That's just my concern though. It's like, is the next expansion going to come with more things like this where you get you get the one weapon and then that's all you get for the entire game? I really don't like that. But I really don't want to lose the tree at the same time. I mean, if that's the case, where I can keep the talent tree, I might make that sacrifice. It's not that big a deal, I know, to a lot of players, but to me, it's just something that has me worried. Unless they do something where it's like, oh, here's a necklace or a ring that will have your talent tree in it from now on. That'd be fine. I'd be cool with that. But next we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because I've been ranting about that for a bit, and we're gonna talk about grinding. And rep grinding, I should say. It's not a chore in Legion. And this goes back to the questing and the areas, because like, a lot of these will connect. Because, you know, in an MMO, you rep grind, and like the past expansions, you had your blue marker daily quest, where you can only do them once a day, and then you would log off that character, go onto your ult, and do the same thing. That's not how it works in Legion. In Legion, you have your world quests, as I have mentioned. You will take those, you will do them, and you will get the rep. But the thing is, every few hours, I believe. So, like, say you started on one end of the map, and then you worked your way systematically all the way to the other end to clean out any quest you had. That's good, because that's what I do daily. I'll start at one end, I'll work my way to the other end. By the time I'm done and have every quest done, at the beginning again, there will pop up more world quests. So the grind technically doesn't stop. And but that was my experience. I don't know if that's how it actually works. I think like the quests are on timers. They're not, there's like these grind quests are all on timers. So they will reset and reappear every so often, which keeps the game feeling fresh and new and exciting and fun. I've only been playing my mage so far because I'm still trying to get, you know, like all the class advancements done from your from your order halls, this is a perfect segue to get into the Garrison 2.0. When I heard about Garrisons returning in Legion, I was devastated. I thought, no, please, God in heaven, no, we're not getting another fucking sit in your garrison, throw gold at it to improve, it gives you things. Facebook Warlords of Draenor game. Oh my god. You go and collect items in Draenor, you put it at your garrison would complete work orders, and then you would get your items, you would get the completed item back that you would use to upgrade things. And that was a chore. It was so boring. There was nothing, I didn't go out into the world for too long to explore because I just get enough, come back to the garrison, max out my work order, and then wait. It was really terrible, but the thing is, Legion has fixed it, I should say. It's not as bad as it was in Draenor. In Draenor, like I said, you threw a lot of gold, to max out your garrison plots and your points and all that. In Legion, you get a class order hall where you and all the other mages, as my character is, on all of Azeroth and Outland and any other part of the world and lore that exists, can meet. And it's a neutral zone, so you can't attack anyone. I was like, oh man, we're gonna have Alliance and Horde constantly killing each other in the class order. No, you're all friends in the order hall. Excuse me, I've been ranting a very long time. I need a drink of water. And the order hall is very, very minimal. It has almost no impact on your gameplay, unlike Warlords of Draenor, where it gave you a quest where you had to queue up and do raid and LFR to get the stones to upgrade your ring and things like that. No, in this one it's like, oh, so and so has done, Archmage Vargoth has turned and joined the Legion. Send out your followers to go do these quests while you go and have fun, and you have to have your followers complete 5 of these quests. It's like, okay, click on that. It takes like 9. Each quest took like 9 or 10 hours to do each, and it took a few days. But I mean, I would come back in, I'd complete the quest, and then I'd send them off on another one, and that was it. There was no other, I didn't have to stay there, I didn't have to do anything else. It took my resources, it did that, and then I would go, and then I would go and get the class advancement. There's also another part where instead of having to spend money to upgrade how your followers function and how things function in your garrison, it just uses your resources. You give it resources, it will study one of 2 choices you get. It will study one or the other, and then it will give you the bonus. It'll give you the boon from it. Well, not to you, to your character, to your followers. This only affects followers, and you don't have to come in and there's very little gold making this time, so it's not, it's not going to shower you and give you gold like it did in Draenor, which I'm very grateful for, because everyone in Draenor was blinged out, level capped gold and all that. It's actually really fun. I go in, you get your order hall gear, you have to meet certain requirements that involve you going out into the actual game again to, you get rep grinding, or you complete the order hall quest line, which sends you out, not your followers this time, but you out to go do things, which is much better done. And it's like, oh, now I'm useful again. I have fun having to go out into the world and quest and do something, and then come back and somebody's like, oh, here's an item for you to because you did something good, and it feels earned, like Warlords of Draenor, where you sent out your followers if they were high level enough to do a raid mission, and they'd come back with some raid gear from one of the end raids. Like, you had characters going to High Mall in Warlords of Draenor to get you gear and items, or you had them doing Hellfire Citadel, the last raid in Warlords of Draenor, and they bring you back Hellfire Citadel gear. And I was like, what? I'm just gonna go and raid it later. Why? All right, thanks. And this one, it's like, oh, you get a class order hall set, which gives you, like, the first 4 pieces give you a slight bonus. It isn't until after you get the rest of it that actually gives you, like, raid level, raid ready bonuses. And then you can upgrade it to, which the current item level right now is like 840. But that, by the time this video comes out, it'll already be past that. Because I think it's like 850 plus item level is now what happens from the first raid that's just been released, the Emerald Nightmare, which I haven't done yet, but my guild and me are planning on doing that on Saturday and Sunday nights, which I am excited for. I've been grinding gear as much as I can. I'm as ready as I will be. Unfortunately, I haven't reached the 840 mark that they set. They're like, if you can make it, try to get that. I've been trying, but as you can guess, you know, with work and life, I'm doing what I can. I'm not gonna say I don't have time to do it. I have time to do it. It's just you have to go at your own pace to do it. But again, it's like they even released. I should mention that they released the Legion phone app, so that you can do this. Like, you can just treat it like the Facebook game it is, and you open your app, you collect their items, and then you send your followers out on another mission. It's that minimal in the actual game that it makes it fun. If they had did this in Warlords of Draenor, where you had to do it like where you had to constantly stay in your garrison and wait for your followers to do the mission before you could continue on, it would have made Warlords of Draenor far better. They got it right in Legion, and it is wonderful. This is the thing. This is how good Legion is. It actually sold 3.3 million copies. People had seen all the good Legion was bringing in. They've seen all the fun things and all the hidden, you know, like there was even a hidden world boss a group of players found just from exploring and finding these. I think it was a bunch of orbs they found scattered in the Broken Isles, and you had to touch them in a specific order to summon a world boss. It's like, Legion, you're doing it right. Blizzard, keep this up. People are enjoying it. They even added in tougher dungeons, because in Draenor, when you reached Mythic, even then it wasn't that much of a challenge, because by the time you were that geared for Mythic, it became a joke. I remember running through, you know, Mythic dungeons like they were nothing at that point. I was already so geared. We'd done them all. It was boring. It became very boring. Legion corrects this, because now you'll get stones that will increase the difficulty of the Mythic dungeon. So you can go to Mythic Plus, you know, etc., 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 etc. And it's like, it keeps you going back for more. And that's how you keep subscribers happy, and that's how you keep people coming back for replayability. Legion, you have corrected the past mistakes. I'm not going to get my hopes up, because I've done that before with Mighty Number 9. I put money into that, people. I back that. I apologize for the mistake that was Mighty Number 9. I helped fund that. Legion, though. Blizzard, I'm looking forward to the next expansion. I mean, I know this one's not done yet, and I hope it's not going to end up where Draenor, where your team just says, we're not putting out any more content for this. I really hope it doesn't come to that, because so far in the few, like, it's been only about a week or two, about 2-3 weeks since Legion's been released. I've hit level capped. I meant to do this video much earlier too, you know, but I was like, you know what, let me experience as much or all of it as I can before I put out a video. And I think I've hit that point to where I've experienced enough where I can clearly and confidently talk about Legion. It brings so much back that was gone. And it's, like I said, Blizzard. I'm looking forward to the next expansion. I'm literally excited for it. Because right now, Legion is a taste of what WoW was and what it can be once again. I am fanning so hard over how good it is. And I can't wait to see what else you guys put out. So I want to thank you all for listening. This was a very, very long rant. It was just me gushing over Legion, as I said, and I can't. In fact, after this, I am going to go play more Legion. That's how much fun I've had with Legion. I have been playing it non-stop. And normally I take a break. I'll go play another game. Like, I'll go play Monster Hunter or more Dark Souls or just like anything else. I'll go play one of the thousands of games I own. But the majority of my time right now has been devoted towards playing Legion. I haven't even started leveling up other characters, because I do want to make a leveling video for YouTube for leveling my monk. Continue, put that up there, because I started when the Broken Shores, the pre-stuff, and I was like, you know what, I could turn that into a video and probably keep a series with that going. But like I said, I want to keep going with Legion. It's been so much fun. I absolutely love everything about it. So there, like I said, the artifacts worry me a bit, but all in all, it's just 2 thumbs up from me. And I can't wait to see what else you guys put out. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you around. Alright? See ya.